So, John, yes, great to have you here today. I just want to put the viewers in a bit of perspective in terms of what to expect from this interview today. Basically, we were answering the question, if you want to increase your lifespan and your health span, you want to live well into your old age, what are the handful of tips viewers can take away today? So if you're interested in increasing your health span, as you age, then you're in the right place, basically. Okay, so that's what we're going to try and answer today. My name's Richard. I'm the owner of Upcurve, and showing you how to live long and live well. Today we have John with us. Maybe you'd like to tell the viewers a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone, and thanks for the opportunity to share some what I believe is very valuable information to people's health, well-being, life and longevity. And so I've been working in health and wellness for over 20 years, and it's been a really great journey from having a background in fitness to then exploring and discovering the importance of overall health with, understanding people's mindset, people's, stress, their sleep, how all of these things fit to play into place to help us be at our best. And that's really my focus, is helping people be the best version of themselves.
In your experience, we want to get straight into providing viewers with key things they can start implementing now, minimal resources needed, financial costs very, very low, if anything, and skill set really, really low, so they don't have to learn anything really new. If today they could implement, say, a handful of lifestyle changes, albeit from nutrition to sleep, whatever it is that you have to offer today, what would be those tips you'd give today now, John, to viewers?
It's a great question, and one I love answering, because the way I'm going to share this, I hope, will motivate people to take action as well. And so the way I look at it is an order of priority of what the human body needs, physically, that is. The question I often ask people is, how long as a human being could we live for generally without moving our bodies, without exercise, essentially? And often it really stops people in the tracks, makes them think, and, people have proven to live decades without moving their bodies. Then the next question is often, how long can someone live for without food? A little bit less. Typically it could be around 4 weeks, give or take, a little bit longer or shorter. But there were hunger strikes back in the 70s that showed that people could live 4 weeks without food. And then the next question is, how long can we live for without sleep and proper rest and recuperation? And actually, the evidence shows that it's less than food. It might be 2 or even 3 weeks at a push where people can go without any sleep whatsoever. You probably kind of see now where I'm going with this. And then the next step is, well, how long can the human being live without water? And we're talking a matter of days. And then next thing is breathing, and we're talking a matter of minutes. So in an order of importance, I say, well, what's the single most important thing the physical body needs? Well, it's oxygen, otherwise cells start dying off pretty quickly. So we want to breathe well, first and foremost, hydrate well, second, and get the best quality water we can in the right amounts on a regular basis and consistent basis. Then it's, making sure we get the right quality, the best quality rest and recuperation we can, the best quality food we can. And then we'll actually have the energy levels to do the movement that we know so many of us need to do, but some people struggle to find the energy and motivation to do because they haven't got the other 4 things in place. So yes, that's kind of a bit of an intro, if that makes sense.
In terms of, so that's kind of offering a real kind of holistic perspective, and maybe a new perspective for some viewers today on the importance of these very simple things that we need, from food to exercise to breathe in and water in between, Now, if they wanted to, take action into their lives today, actually do key things to ensure all those, say, 4 or 5 things were looked after, could you give us some idea of what those habits would look like?
Yeah. So, we breathe about 21,500 times a day, roughly. And if every one of those better breaths or every one of those breaths was a better breath, then how would that impact our cells? In fact, a great point to make now is that we are made up of trillions of cells all joined together. And what those cells need is oxygen, first and foremost. So it's about how can we improve our quality of breath. So making sure that we are aware of how we can breathe through our diaphragm, not just shallowly from our chest, is a really good step. So seeking out, whether that means going and learning through yoga or some of these practices, but actually start to connect. And I often get people to place a hand on the chest, hand on their abdomen, and start to breathe in and let their abdomen kind of expand rather than what most people are doing are trying to suck it in. So then we're not just shallow breathing from the chest, and spend, 2 or 3 minutes at the beginning and at the end of our day connecting with our breath, bringing us back down to earth from the crazy busyness that a lot of people are living in, and relax. And within minutes, people will change their state and feel more relaxed. Another great breathing technique I love to share is the alternate nostril breathing, which they use in yoga a lot, which is to inhale through one nostril, exhale through the other, back in through the one you've just breathed out of, out through the other, and keep rotating and alternating. And that, within minutes, again, calms the mind, brings it into balance, and takes people out of what, if they're in a stressful state or anxious state.
Okay, fantastic. So at least with the breathing now, you've got one really simple intervention there, one simple habit that I certainly, could, see as being beneficial to everybody and anybody right now. Hand on the abdomen, so you're aware of whether you're doing a deep breath or not. Take a deep breath and feel the abdomen push out as you're taking a deep breath, and then let it just kind of push back in as a release. And a simple practice like that will just get people not only breathing deeper, but as you say, calming the mind. And so things like stress, reversing stress, and potentially disease-related stresses as a result of that. So there's a really simple breathing technique. Yeah, thank you very much for that one, Jon. Yeah, so please carry on. Any other tips?
When it comes to water, just keeping it simple, get the best quality water you can. So whether that means through a water filter system of some kind, or whether it's, mineral water, etc. But also it's the amount, and making sure it's not just drinking lots in one go, that we're drip feeding it throughout the day so our body can handle that, especially if we're looking to increase our hydration levels. There's a great calculation I use from Dr. Batman Gelady, who's written many books all around water, to calculate how much we individually need, because we're all different shapes and sizes, so we all have different needs for hydration. And his calculation is our body weight in kilograms times 0.033, and that will give us how much we need in litres. And for people to, over a number of days or even weeks, build up to that level gradually. So typically it can be somewhere between 2 or 3 litres for the average person to be taken on board a day. So
fantastic.
That in itself makes such a huge impact in so many ways. It can affect our blood pressure, again, our brain function. It helps with, elimination and flushing out a lot of the waste products in our body. I mean, it's just endless benefits to hydrating properly.
Fantastic. I'm absolutely completely with you on that, how important water is for the body. We're something like 60-70% made of water, is that right? Yeah, it has to be really important, though. Okay. If you're building a house out of bricks, you're going to say, well, if most of the house is built of bricks, the bricks are probably the most important part of the building, right?
It's a great analogy. I love that. Yeah. So, and 92% of blood plasma, roughly, is water. So if we're dehydrated, the blood's going to get thicker and stickier. So our circulation is going to be affected, and that's our delivery system.
Yeah. So easy to underestimate the value of water, and we get told, you hear it so much, keep hydrated, and all of that. But really, not many, in my experience, of clients when I work for them for the first time, not many people actually really take ownership of that water thing. So just a really simple technique there. You said, you've got your body weight times by, what was that figure?
0.033.
Okay, so times your body weight by 0.033, and that will give you the amount of litres?
Yes.
Yeah, amount of litres you should be drinking in a day. Fantastic, because also we hear a lot, you should drink a litre, or you should drink 2, or you should drink 3. Or, people are kind of all over the place, really, but this is a very specific, individualised approach to it. Very simple. I like that one, Jon. Please carry on. Next tip.
Thank you. The next one is such a huge topic, and how do I just kind of pick out key things from this? Is because it's nutrition. Well, no, actually, sleep. No, let's go sleep.
Do sleep first. Yeah, I like that one.
So, oh my word. Okay, so sleep is just, it impacts our food choices the next day. If we're not sleeping well, it impacts our energy. It impacts our ability to concentrate. our mental well-being, never mind certain hormones on our body. It's where our body gets rest and recovery. And I believe right now, the busyness of life and how, on the go people are, we need more rest now than we've ever needed in human evolution because we're busier than ever before. So the priorities increase for rest, yet people are getting less rest because they're busier doing other things. So number one really is to prioritize the importance for rest and recuperation and give yourself permission to rest would be my message. And then to do that, it's getting to bed at a decent time. Ideally between the hours of 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. For some people that might seem a bit extreme, but at the very least I'd say 11 p.m. at night. Head down and get rested. Now, a lot of people might be watching this going, yeah, that's okay in principle, but I struggle in so many different areas, like getting off to sleep, staying asleep, still feel tired in the morning, even though they haven't slept. And there's a whole array, which would normally be about an hour of my time to go through and break down a really great sleep hygiene protocols. But trying to keep it simple right now, 4 key areas. Number one is our mindset approach to sleep, because most people already identify and have the belief systems that they're a poor sleeper. So they're already expecting a bad night before they've even gone to bed, because they have the stories that they tell themselves and other people that my sleep's awful, I never get a good night, I'm always waking up at night. So my first thing would be to change the thinking and open the mind to a better night's sleep by just saying my sleep's improving, getting better all the time, I'm taking positive action to improve my sleep, so that we can allow it to happen in the first place. Number two is the preparation. And what can we do? Switch off, obviously, the blue light. I know people hear it all the time, but not many people are actually doing it, even though they're struggling with their sleep. And actually give yourself at least an hour where you're switching off from the phones, the laptops, the TV, where there's this blue light that creates cortisol in our body and switches on that hormone. And then to dim the lighting and make it darker, make sure the environment that you're in is nice and dark. There's no electrical gadgets in the room, psychologically and physically, that are by our bed, like our mobile phones that we're connected to daily throughout the whole day, and people are still connected to it at night. Make that disconnection from you. Keep it on the outside of the room, or at the door of the bedroom, the very nearest, so that they're not tempted to pick it up in the night and look and search if they wake up and disturb and check. Yeah, I mean, there's so much here, but and then also the nutrition around sleep as well. So making sure there's not lots of caffeine or sugar before bed. And even now there's seen to be good evidence around not eating after 8 o'clock as well, to help control the blood sugar levels throughout the night. So, I mean, yeah, that's just a little taster on sleep.
Cool. So a couple of a few key things there for me. First of all is kind of like taking a proactive approach to sleep, kind of accepting that you've got to change something and you've got to own the process and talk about it positively. As you start to get gains in your sleep patterns and improvement in it, start to change the way you talk about it and the way you kind of refer to your sleep patterns. Yeah. So having a positive mindset in relation to the sleep, dimming the lighting just before bedtime. So switching off all strong sources of light, whether it be a light out in the passage that's kind of feeding into the bedroom, or mobile phones or TV or, lamps and stuff like that. So subdued lighting.
Make it dark as possible. What I forgot
dark as possible.
It's the darkness that creates the melatonin hormone, which is the hormone that helps with sleep. So yeah, before going to bed, start to
Fantastic. And the last one for sleep, avoid stimulants, things like sugar, caffeine. Be aware of how you respond to those stimulants, and if it's keeping you awake, definitely you want to be avoiding those before bedtime as well.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Nice one.
I mean, and there's the stress, because, it's the worry that people have from what's happened the day just gone, and worrying about what might happen tomorrow. So it's managing all of that, which, there's processes we can take people through to help them to manage their stress better.
Great. Excellent. And your next tip, John?
Yeah, the next tip, I mean, this is a topic of nutrition, isn't it? And I break it down into like few key areas, not just what to eat, which is what everybody's focused on, and that's very important. We'll cover that, but also first of all, why we eat. And a lot of people could be eating because of their various emotions and habits, rather than actually as a fuel to nourish their body. So understanding what are our triggers to why we're eating, understanding how to eat, the whole process of chewing the food, and again, giving time to eat rather than eating on the go and eating in a stressful state. Because we will literally create the enzymes in our saliva that break down the food and digest better. And then also the where to eat, the right environment, a relaxed environment, maybe not at the desk or on the go. And also the when to eat at the regular intervals that are going to balance our blood sugar levels. And a lot of people can be on this blood sugar roller coaster going up and down with feeling tired and then wired and tired and wired. And that's why they wake up the next morning, because they've just been on caffeine and sugar and eating the wrong things at wrong times rather than having this balanced energy. And then it goes into what to eat. And really, I guess if I can simplify it the most, is just to say eat real food. If you could pick it out of the ground, off a tree, catch it in the water or catch it in the field. And I know there might be vegetarians and vegans on there that might have a different approach there, but what I'm saying is avoiding the processed manufactured food and eating real food, then they'll go a long way to taking good care of their health and make sure there's a lot of plants in there that provide us with the fiber and the fermentable fibers and the vitamins and nutrients and antioxidants and minerals. Then at least they're giving their body, some really good fuel. Get the best you can.
Yes.
My favorite quote is by Paul Check, actually, one of my teachers, and he says, "Are you paying your body the minimum wage?" And I love that. And I say to people, prioritize your money on getting the best food you can, the highest quality, to fuel your cells, and it will pay back in abundance and of energy, etc. And there's far too many people spending more money on leisure activities, clothes, holidays, cars, etc., and then buying cheap food, which just doesn't make sense to me, because it's food is the fuel that's going to impact how we feel and function on a day-to-day basis.
So that simple tip, I mean, across the board, if most people were just to take out all the processed food that they consume, you're left with the real food, and immediately one would see an improvement in health and longevity just as a result of that. And that's without even becoming picky about what kind of foods just going from processed to 100% real food is a big one there. Nice one.
Keep it that simple. I mean, yes, you can get into way more detail, but that's great.
Absolutely. Brilliant. Good start for many people today, I think.
And when it comes to nutrition, I guess my final point on that is we can be eating a healthy diet, but still not feeling all the benefits. Because although we've heard many times we are what we eat, actually there's a step further, and we are what we absorb and digest. And this is where the focus also needs to be on looking after our gut health. And so many people are struggling in this area. It's an area I have a particular passion in. Struggling with bloating, acid reflux, wind and gas, irregular bowel movements, and that's all a sign that we're not getting rid of the waste properly and we're not absorbing our nutrition correctly. So if any of those symptoms are a problem, then I would say address gut health, because you can be eating a healthy diet but still struggling to absorb your nutrition.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, definitely there's a point for further videos in the future where we can maybe help people just become a little bit more educated on action they can take in that area. But more of that later maybe. So fantastic, great tips so far. And I guess the last one is, the physical exercise side of things. What's your tips there, mate?
We were born to move. I mean, we really were. And the world was our gym years ago, because, we were in active jobs, we were farmers, we were tending to our food, our crops, etc. We were outdoors getting lots of vitamin D while we're moving. I mean, and then you're getting the fresh air for the breathing as well, taking it back to oxygen. But and then now, people are the laptops and internet and online is ruling the world, and it's making, there's some great business around that as well. But people are so much more, inactive. We know that, and it causes musculoskeletal problems, neck problems, back problems, hip problems beyond, etc. So we simply need to move, and I call it more movement rather than maybe exercise, because some people who might be watching this go, "Oh, exercise, I don't do that," or "Gyms, I don't do that, and it's not my scene." No problem. Just find ways to move, whether it's dancing, whether it's swimming, whether it's walking. Just make sure you're moving your body at least 30 minutes every day in some form, because it's going to improve the lymph in your body. It's going to give you more energy. It's going to keep the mobility in your structural system more. So just have a priority amongst the other things I've shared about moving daily in some form.
Fantastic. Would something like a brisk walk in the park be a really good first step for anybody who's quite inactive?
Oh, yeah, totally.
There you
go.
Yeah.
You're with nature, you're getting fresh air. Also, I also believe that we're in these sterile environments so much now of it being indoors, and we need to connect with nature because of the microbiome, the bacteria, the immune system. We've become disconnected from our environment. We need to have this symbiotic relationship with it again for many reasons.
Fantastic.
For health.
Okay, brilliant. Well, listen, there's been some great tips and advice from you today, Jon. I really think you've provided a few key things that people can do, which I'm going to provide a summary for in a moment. But maybe before we finish, would you like to provide people with a reference to your particular project, the microbiome project that you run, in case people are interested in maybe seeking your personal help on that?
Yeah, really appreciate it. I'm really loving helping people. I've got a 21-day microbiome program that people follow for their gut health and their overall health. Think of it like a real nutritional kickstart to the body. And so it's a 21-day program. The results have been phenomenal. I mean, it's every time someone completes it, I'm really fulfilled in how it's impacting their weight, impacting their energy, their sleep, their mental well-being, their digestion in a big way. So it's having some phenomenal results. And you can find out more about it by following me online or visiting my website. So I've got a brand new website actually, and which I'm proud of, called jonburgesswellbeing.co.uk. Jon spelt Jon, there's no H, burgesswellbeing.co.uk. And you can see that on there, people work with me one-to-one coaching, and that can be done online. I go into the workplace and do workshops, teaching and educating people there. And then I've got the 21-day programs as well. So,
fantastic.
Just love helping people to thrive and be the best version of themselves.
Good stuff. So people can access that if they want to. Well, listen, Jon, it's been fantastic having you online with me today. I really hope the viewers have gleaned a lot from this. Anybody with any thoughts, comments, or questions and suggestions, please comment below. Share this with anybody that you think it could help. If there's information here and tips that you think it could help someone close to you or otherwise, go ahead and share it. But we'd love to hear your feedback if you found anything useful today, or you have any questions about longevity, increase in health span, increase in your well-being and performance into old age. Okay. Thank you very much, Jon.
It's an absolute pleasure. Thanks for the opportunity, and it's great work that you're doing, spreading such a positive message.
Brilliant. Okay.